everybody, Marcos Villegas here in Las Vegas, being joined with Abel Sanchez, the trainer of Gennady Golovkin, and Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin fought tonight. Your man came up short. An extremely close fight, Abel. Talked to a lot of people about it. Scorecards are all over the place, but how are you feeling with everything now that the event's a few hours removed, and what did you make of the way that Gennady fought?
First of all, we're disillusioned that we didn't get the victory, but I think that we had three very good judges. They both fight a great fight. I think Canelo deserves all the credit for taking the victory tonight. He's champion. We're not ashamed of anything we did in the ring. I believe that we gave the fans what we had promised them. The fans won tonight, and it was a one-round fight. It was within one round going either way for it to be different, a different score, a different outcome, I should say. So hopefully they rest up and they plan another one sometime in May of next year.
How did you personally have the fight?
I thought we won, but all coaches think they won. No, we're biased. All teams think they won, they're biased, but that's why we had today three very, very competent judges. They saw it in a way that was against us, but we can't be hypocritical and start crying every time we don't get a decision. That's why we have judges, and these three were very good.
So you're okay with the decision? You feel it's fair?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that to say something less would be taken away from the glory of a great victory today for Canelo.
Looking at the fight, Canelo was right there in front of Golovkin. How surprised were you, if at all, about the way Canelo fought?
I wasn't surprised. I think that I goaded him enough, and I think I talked enough crap about him, not in a disrespectful way, but just of things that had happened to make him prove to himself and prove to everybody that he could do the things that I was saying he couldn't do. I thought he fought a great fight. I thought that he fought the fight that I think the fans expected, the fight the fans paid for, and he came out with a victory.
Did it surprise Gennady at all that he was right there in there with them and at times pushing Gennady back?
No, Gennady and I talked about that. Gennady and I talked about that prior to the fight and in training camp, what I thought he was going to do. I really thought he was going to do what he did tonight. But that's what he had to do, not only to win all the fans back, but also to erase that bad mark that he had back in March. I think with this fight in the 12 or 14 negative test that he took with Vada, I think it just proves to himself and to his fans that he is a clean fighter and he fought a great fight. Today he got the win.
A lot of fans did not expect Canelo to be there with Golovkin face-to-face, toe-to-toe, and they felt that they would work in Gennady's favor, that he would get a knockout if Canelo were to fight that way. Why wasn't Golovkin able to get something like that here tonight, you feel?
You know, every time a fighter steps to the ropes, a coach has a game plan. A coach has things that he did in a gym to try to prepare for a fight. For some reason, Canelo in the first fight fought, I'm sure, totally the different fight than his coaches thought he was going to fight. Golovkin didn't do some of the things that we had worked on in the gym tonight, but I thought that he did enough to earn a victory, a close victory. It wasn't quite enough, but we must put Golovkin on such a pedestal. We expect him to do the same things to every fighter. I don't think there's been a fighter in history that's been able to dominate and to do the same things to every fighter that he fights.
Did it surprise you that Gennady moved on his back foot in a few rounds? And what was the cause of that? Why did he decide to move and box a little bit?
You know, we had a lot of success against David Lemieux fighting the same way. And this is a kid that had 350 amateur fights and 40 professional fights. He knows how to box. Surprise, no. That I know he can do it, yes. That I wanted him to do something different, I was imploring him in the corner to do something different. I thought that the fans and himself would benefit from him fighting Canelo. And there's moments when he took off that I wasn't particularly happy, but we're on the outside. He sees things on the inside that he wants to do.
What was he telling you throughout the fight that he was seeing?
No, they don't. They really don't talk in the corner. They listen to you. And I'm imploring him to attack a little bit more, but maybe he saw the openings from the outside. I can't tell you until we go back and he and I look at the videos, but they both fought a great fight. For it to be one round apart, for me to say something that Golovkin didn't do let's just say that Golovkin was 60%, didn't do the things he was supposed to do, would be to take away from Canelo's effort. They both fought to a one-round fight, really. So that means that they're both, if you think Canelo fought great and you think Canelo looked great, they fought to a one-round fight. So that means both of them did great. Both of them fought great. So I'm not going to criticize what we did. We did what we thought was best. Canelo did what he thought it was best. Today he won.
The body attack, I know he did land some body shots, Gennady did, but not to the point of we've seen in the past. He wasn't as consistent. Why was that, you feel?
Again, they see things that we don't see in that. But again, I go back to it, we fought to a one-round fight. If he does all those things that we're asking him to do, is it a different fight? I don't know. But still, he fought to a one-round fight. So I can't criticize and I can't take away from what he done, because it would be then taken away from Canelo's victory.
Was this version of Canelo a year later better than last year's version?
100%. 100%, because this is the Canelo that we saw in 40 previous fights, except the Golovkin one fight. And this is what the fans wanted. This is, look, these idols and these heroes from whatever country they're from, their fans get accustomed to seeing certain things. A Mexican fan is accustomed to seeing Julio Cesar Chavez type fighter that attacks. Canelo tonight fought Mexican style and won in Mexican style.
A lot of fans naturally are going to be asking what's left of Golovkin at this point. From what you saw, was that Gennady, or do you see a slight decrease in what he was and what he is at this point? Or is that just a bad example because Canelo is a very elite level fighter, and with elite level fighters, it's back and forth?
Again, for me to say that Golovkin is finished would be put him on such a high pedestal that I'm saying Canelo's no good. But if they both fight to a one-round fight, yeah, obviously, if you think Canelo did a great job today, if you think Canelo fought a great fight, if you think Canelo is a superstar, they fought to a one-round fight. So what does that make Golovkin? The same thing. One round, the last round, if one judge would have had it for, I think 2 judges had it for Canelo, 1 judge had it for Golovkin. If one of those judges would have scored it the same way for Golovkin, it's a draw. You know, so again, for me to say something that Golovkin didn't do certain things would be to take away from Canelo. If Canelo's a superstar, they're both superstars. Yeah?
What do you think ultimately cost you guys the fight? One thing you could change that you feel that if you would have done it, it would have gotten you guys that last round to get a decision in your favor?
Win the last round. I told Golovkin in the 11th and 12th that I needed both rounds. I thought it was a close fight, and I told him that I needed the round. And I think he took off the last round. He didn't do enough to win it convincingly.
Do we see a third fight, or do you think that this is it? The chapter's closed. There will be no more fights between Canelo and Gennady Golovkin.
This fight would have been a wipeout, then I would say it's not a possibility. This fight was a one-round fight, man. It was a one-score fight. So I definitely think that if Oscar and Tom and Eric and Canelo and Golovkin can get together and iron out some kind of agreement, I think it's a very strong possibility that we may be fighting May the 5th of next year.
But what do you think? You personally think we will see a third fight? Or do you think they don't want to go that route?
I personally think that they should. They should, because it was that close a fight. It was that competitive a fight. You tell me a fight out there, a rivalry out there, that's as strong as this one. That could be, if you were to buy it tomorrow, that you know what to expect, the same thing that you got from this fight. What fight is there out there that can equal this? There's none. There's none. And we need those. We need this in the sport.
Abel, thank you so much. It's great catching up with you. I know you're tired. You've been running around, doing interviews.
I need to go to sleep.
So I'm going to let you go ahead and go to sleep. Abel, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Here with Abel Sanchez, Marcos Villegas. We're in Las Vegas. Canelo versus Golovkin 2. Post-fight word tonight, Canelo Alvarez won a majority decision against Gennady Golovkin, becoming the unified middleweight champion of the world.